So this is Khreshchatyk. It's the main thoroughfare in Kyiv, Broadway in New York or State Street in Chicago. And it is a place where I have said many times in the past that I hope in my not too distant future I will be popping a bottle of champagne amongst throngs of thousands celebrating Kyivans the day of victory over Russia. But today was a particularly interesting day on Khreshchatyk for me because there was a lot of scuttlebutt at the very beginning of the day, and I was kind of lying in bed having a bit of a late morning because I'm kind of at the tail end of some sort of sinus infection. Pretty much better, but nevertheless I was lying in bed. And I saw on social media an awful lot of people talking about, hey, there's this massive diplomatic convoy coming through Kyiv. We know that Biden's in Poland. Could it be? Could it be? And indeed it was. President Joe Biden visited the capital of Ukraine today. And I'm very proud that he did. Makes me a very proud American. And about 20 minutes into the announcement, the official announcement that he had arrived, well, we got an air raid siren. Did that stop Joe Biden or President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to spend some time together in public on the streets of Kyiv? No, it did not. And I was lucky enough to get up in time to see that all of Khreshchatyk had been blocked off. So I was like, okay, something's definitely up. And I stood and I waited and I got a photograph of a historic convoy through the Ukrainian capital. This one. Why is this so important? Well, it's important because it shows the solidarity between the two countries. We are bound together. And people have asked me, Phil, do you think that someday some of the more radical isolationist elements of the United States or other parts of the West may abandon Ukraine? Well, I fear that. I don't think it'll happen, but I'm not blind to the fact that there are those who are more concerned about domestic politics than international and are so isolationist and so short-sighted to think that it might be a good idea to stop supporting Ukraine. But I've said it before as well. If we turn our blind eye to Ukraine, if we abandon Ukraine, stop supporting them, the Ukrainians will not stop fighting. The Ukrainians will never stop fighting because this is everything to them. This is their existence. It's their independence and their sovereignty. Not only theirs, but for generations to come. If we leave them, we will have to watch from the sidelines what the Russians will do here. And I have no doubt there will be punishment. There will be brutal reprisal attacks on the Ukrainians. And we will have to sit from abroad and watch as, I have no doubt, hundreds of thousands of people will be slaughtered. And that's not hyperbole, I believe that. Will the international community sit by and watch that? Or will instead, having realized the mistake they make, have to try and intervene themselves directly? Because the alternative will be to watch a Srebrenica level massacre on a regular basis. Could we stomach that? Right now, the Ukrainians are willing to fight this war on their own. They're willing to use the weaponry that we give them, but to sacrifice the lives of their people in order to provide peace not only for Ukraine, but for the rest of Europe. And one last thing about today's visit. I went just now to a local market around the corner, and they know me. And I walked in and they were beaming. Absolutely beaming. And they said, thank you. Thank you so much for having your president come here, like I had something to do with it. But they were so grateful to know that the international community stands with them. And I simply said, we're in this together now, whatever may come. And they couldn't have been happier. And I didn't just say it to please them, I believe it. We're in this together. Ukraine, the United States, the Western Alliance, we see the threat from Russia. And it is not a simple threat. So we stand with the Ukrainians now, or we watch them suffer at the hands of the Russians in the future. And then ultimately, perhaps, be compelled to intervene ourselves. That's where we stand. I am very proud today to be an American. I'm very proud of my president. Слава Україні! Слава США! Героям слава!